сентябрь, 28 2019 года. Второй день в Марокко. Это город Касабланка. Мы идем в какую-то громаднейшую мечеть.
King Hassan II was inspired from the verse of the Torah, which says, "The crown of God is on the sea." So he wanted to build a mosque on the waters. He was a French architecture and designer. Michel Pinson was the one who did the design of the architecture of the mosque. And it can accommodate up to 80 counts. Inside and on the ground, outside as well. And the tower, or the minaret, we call it a minaret, you call it a tower. This minaret is 210 meters high. It's probably the tallest on earth. It has got a green laser beam which goes 40 kilometers towards the direction of Mecca in the evening time. And it has got, of course, places for ablutions there, baths, administrative buildings which run the mosque. It also has got a roof. You see the green roof there, which slides open so that you can put it under the stars.
В 8 часов утра народ уже двинул путь. Несколько автобусов приехали в одно время. Эта громаднейшая мечеть была построена не так давно. Всего, может, 30-40 лет назад. По проекту какого-то французского архитектора. Наш гид сказал, что эта мечеть может вместить одновременно где-то около 80 тысяч человек. И когда даже не хватает места внутри, то вся эта площадь используется. Особенно это во время праздника Рамадан, когда большое количество людей вспоминает о религии. Это лучшая часть Касабланки, прилегающая к Атлантике.
See, they just went and sat on top of this truck ahead of us. So I called them the sky rats. See, normally they have their breakfast in Venice and come here for lunch in Casablanca. We will see it tomorrow in Fez. It's very, very thorny. It has small little thorns. If you touch with your fingers, they're like microscopic ones. You don't see them. So if you touch them, you will end up with a lot of them in your fingers. So they peel it off and eat the fruit inside. It's very sweet. It's very nice taste. And it's one of the best drinks you can have in the summer. If you have a blender with some lime, you mix it with some lime and you get a very refreshing drink in the hot summer days here. You see, it's a booming country. See, these are here a little bit more expensive than the ones we saw. The are there, 7,500 dirhams for 1 square meter. So if you have 100 square meter, it's going to be like $75,000 or $80,000, which is a bit more than the ones we saw. Now can you hear me? I had it off. Sorry. So the horses here, these are the guards, and you can take photos if you want, as many as you want. And they are there, and they serve every hour and a half or so. See, I think there is a change of the guards there. See, 2 horses came and the 2 others are going. You just missed it. See, see. So we got the new ones, and the ones we found are leaving now, going back. See them going back. See, just left. All right. So what we have here, we have 2 sites. Actually, we have an old one, which is this one, and then we have the one behind us. The one we have here is called the Hassan Tower, and this is the 12th century minaret. It was during the time of the Almohad dynasty, and it is actually the one who built it is called Jacob the Victorious. Jacob the Victorious, and he was inspired by the Mesquita of Cordoba, and he wanted to make of these mosques here one of the biggest mosques on earth in the 12th century. So he ordered the construction. Bless you. His dream never came true because he died before they finished the construction. As soon as he died, construction stopped. So if you see the tower, if you look at it, it was meant to be much more taller than that. But when he died, they stopped the construction. If you ever hear of the unfinished mosque, they do refer to this one. This is, I think, is around the 45 meters high, and it was meant to be like 60 meters or 70 meters high. So the unfinished mosque, they always refer to this one.
Эти колонны из римских времен были сюда доставлены для того, чтобы поддерживать перекрытие этой громаднейшей мечети, но мечеть не была построена, хотя планы были наполеоновские. Это город Мекнес. В 17 веке он был столицей этого королевства в течение 55 лет. Мекнес — самая важная достопримечательность, ворота. Там вдали фри-маркет, блошиные вещички продают. Вечерний лес. Мы едем на какой-то туннель.
The right or the left. The only thing is that you have to be careful because in whichever side you put it, wherever hip you put it, that means that is the available side.
not care about time at all. They're not considered like people in a hurry, in a rush. In Morocco, we have a famous saying that says, people in a hurry are in the cemetery when they're gone. These people are leading a very simple life over there. To prove what I'm saying to you, to prove the importance of the value of this Medina, in April 1981, first Medina was declared by UNESCO, you know UNESCO, as a World Heritage, Universal Patrimony that UNESCO has to preserve for all humankind. And since that time, since 1981, UNESCO has created a program called the Safeguard of First Medina, in which today they are working hard by renovating, restoring and rebuilding sites and monuments. This program started in 1981, we're in 2019, and not finished yet. It's not a question of money, it's a question of time, because UNESCO is paying for that. The World Bank is financial a lot of project restoration. Moroccan government, including that program, and many friendly countries like America, Canada, Japan, many countries from the Middle East, okay, and the European Union are helping us. We have millions of dollars in the City Council. The only issue we have, the only problem, is to make people move from the Medina. 110,000, they have nowhere to go. Their homes are not strong enough. This is why while walking through the Medina, you might see some old houses and buildings having scaffoldings. They put wood bars supporting the building not to fall down, not to collapse, awaiting its restoration. We as Guys Association in France, we had a meeting with the mayor of the city 2 months ago, and it promised us that this problem will be solved, inshallah, if God willing, in 3 years' time. Now we're trying to build a chemical apartment with people to live there while their homes are under restoration, and they can come back after their homes are renovated. We left the modern quarter. We have in first 3 cities. The modern quarter, your hotel is located in what we call the European quarter, 20th century area over there. Now we're going to 14th century. Look, the King's Palace walks. That's the King's Palace wall there. We are now in the 14th century quarter, and just ahead we have the main door to the King's Palace. What we have in this area here, the 14th century area, we have the King's Palace we're going to stop at. And very close, we'll be walking inside and outside the Jewish quarter of Fez. The Jewish quarter contains a beautiful and very rich Moorish architecture that I would like you to admire walking, not by bus, okay? So please stop here for the picture of the King's Palace. Over there, I'll be giving you more details, more explanations, and then I will invite you to see the Jewish cemetery and see the Jewish quarter from outside and inside. Is that clear?
Мы приехали смотреть Медину, это древний город внутри города.
Over there on the top, that is called the demonstration of the King's Palace. So we are now in what we call Fez El Jadid quarter. Fez Jadid is the second agglomeration built in the 13th, beginning of the 14th century. It was built by the 4th Moroccan dynasty that we call the Marinites or the Banu Marin. The Marinites is the name of the 4th dynasty that reigned in Morocco, okay, for 2 centuries, 13th and 14th century. And the Marinite kings and monarchs were builders, founders. They built the King's Palace we're going to see. They built the Jewish quarter. They built beautiful sites in the Medina. They built gardens, hammams, inns, funduks, riyadh. So first knew its apogee. It was the golden time in the epoch of the Marinites. It was like a golden time. So all the quarter here was built during the epoch of the Marinites. Let's see the main door of the Jewish cemetery from outside. You have the Jewish people here, and you have inside there. Right there, people have to pray to themselves, like don't leave and stuff. You can see tombs over there. So those Jewish were Safar Jews. That's as per the language are the Jewish who came from southern Spain, especially after the fourth Granada in 1492. Okay, 1492, the Syro-American was discovered. Many Jews and Muslims were expelled by Isabella the Catholic. Isabella chased all these people who didn't want to convert to Christianity. They were out of Spain after 1492, the fall of Granada. So when the Jews came here and established the community in this area, close to the King's Palace, I will tell you why later. Take a picture of the door and let's go inside the Jewish quarter. Please, any questions, do not hesitate to ask. More what you said, okay? Anything you want to know, let me know, okay? Wacha, wacha, means okay.
Es el palacio más antiguo de Marruecos.
We'll have time for pictures. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main entrance, the King's Palace of Fes. This palace is considered the largest and the oldest King's Palace in Morocco. The oldest dating from the 14th century. It was built by a man king called Abu Yusuf Yaqub al-Malini. And the palace is the largest because it has an area of 80 hectares. Huge. 80 hectares equals more or less 205 acres. Despite the fact that the king of Morocco lives in Rabat, the Royal Palace in Rabat is 43 hectares. This one almost doesn't touch 80 hectares. Why that? Because this palace has been used by different dynasties that they have great king before the time of the current king. The palace has been restored many times. And the last restoration, as you can see, occurred in 1968. In 1968, we built the 7 doors. We just look above the 2 door knockers in the middle, the doors, with the lady standing up to the ceiling. And the roof, there's a plaster line. In the middle of the plaster, under the roof. In the middle of the plaster line, you have these numbers, 1968. You see that? That's carved in the plaster roof, just under the roof, in the middle, the line. You see it? 1968. Under the roof is a line. Okay. In the middle, you have these numbers in 1968. That here, they go the 7 doors. Why 7? 7 is lucky number, 7 heavens. But we have a reason why we have 7 doors. Hassan II, who passed away in 1999. Hassan II is the father of the current king, His Majesty Mukhammeda V. Hassan II became king of Morocco in 1961, and he built the doors in 1968. And from 61 to 68, we have 7 years. So Hassan II, to commemorate the 7 years of his reign at that time, he built 7 doors. 2, 3, open, sesame.
Oh, sorry.
We just wait. We wait for the whole year. I think it's pretty not to be the palace because the king comes here once or twice a year. The king inherited 12 palaces father. Okay? And I think because the palace doesn't belong to him, it belongs to the council. If somebody had the courage to tell the king, tell him to allow visitors go inside, or he's not here, we wouldn't agree because we have a very modest king, very humble king. But nobody can talk the king. We talked. We, as Guys Association, we talked to our Minister of Tourism, and he said we won't talk to the king, but by the time we wait.
Это и есть Медина. Гид говорит, что с 9 века, 800 какого-то года этот город существует, сейчас находится под эгидой ЮНЕСКО. Там нет ни транспорта, ни названия улиц, просто нужно, чтобы там ориентироваться, жить или, по крайней мере, часто быть.
Allez. Allez.
270 columns inside, 22,000 people who could pray all at once each Friday. You're allowed to come over here if you want to get photos, would be fine. You're not allowed to go in, but it's okay for pictures. Where are you from?
Canada.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Tell me something. You know that building we went into with all the, how much is a condo there? Condo. Condominium? You can buy a condominium there? You buy an apartment? No?
And at the same time, I think later on, if any one of you need to use half the rooms will be here, or WC.
I like that. They call them mountains.
Okay, Abdul will give you more details, all
Good
right?
morning, my dear guest. How are you today?
Good.
I hope that you had an enjoyable morning. From outside, you didn't know what to expect. This beautiful house can give you an idea about what those Fez houses look like. Sometimes they might be larger, sometimes they might be smaller. The idea of the architecture has never changed. It used to be open to the sky, like an open courtyard. When you choose to rent inside. That's why you can find a drain where the rent is. So during summer season, families, they stay downstairs, it's nice and cooler. Winter, families, they move upstairs, it's nice and warmer. And as you can see now, it's a carpet cooperative. It's a community of ladies. They weave their own carpets at their own home. By the time they finish, they bring them here to be exhibited. Fez, it's known with an exclusivity that's called Fez carpet. This is the example of the Fez carpet. Yes. The one there in the middle of the wall. Up to 480,000 knots per each square meter. And if you use inch, it's 210 knots. They're based on the marine wall. They're reversible. Size like this one, 3.5 meter by 2.5 meter, or 9 feet by 12 feet, takes almost around 21 months to make. And they're based on the merino wool from the merino sheep. We have another style of rugs called the Berber. The Berber carpet is that white one. Most of that, a white background with natural colors. Berber, then also what we call the kilim. The difference between a carpet and a kilim, the carpet it's knotted, the kilim it's woven and then embroidered. Woven and then embroidered with a needle made of cedar wood. They used to work an average of 1 hour per shift. Here comes the old rugs, the family heirlooms, the tribal rugs. Those were not made for business, those are vintage. Here comes the kitten, another beautiful old Berber rug, and all the colors are organic vegetable dyes. Salt and water. You can use your hose also. Here comes the kittens. Woven and then embroidered. Woven and then embroidered. With a needle made of cedar wood. They're very strong, made for heavy trucking. Here comes the ones made by the Bedouins. The native of the desert.
Mr. Brian, please, your boss call you.
Anyway, all these rugs exist, smaller, larger. We are here to help the ones who wish to be helped. Otherwise, we will still love you with this.
All north of Africa. This place we call them a tannery. Tannery, it means where the product of leather coming from. This place they have aged at 9th century. and we do this kind of job generation to generation and children to children. When we was young, we have to take off from school. Our parents, they bring us here to learning and practicing how we've been doing the product. Because system as Arabic country, always the children follow what the father will do. We start very dark in the morning, like 5 o'clock, and we finish very light in the afternoon. As we are cooperative here, we are around 250 workers. We do the products for the cooperative and all money going to the hand of the art. And we are controlled by government and by center of the hand worker about the quality and about colors. We have options markets and we have the butcheries and farm where we get the skin from. We start with dromedar, goat and goat, sheep, lamb. Camel, it doesn't exist in Morocco. Camel, no exist in Morocco. We have dromedar, 2 hands, no 1 hand. Camel exists in Egypt. In Morocco, the best one is goat or goats. The best leather jacket or the best clothes or whatever. And we bring it to here, we take the wool off for the hair and we mix inside the washer machine and we wash it in simple way. Just the water, lemon and salt, and we wash it 4 days. Each day 3 hours until the skin comes softer and white. Like this bacteria, germs, the parts coming off from skin. After the well, we move the way and we make the skin inside these vents, the white one. And we prepare those vents with water, lemon, limestone, and dropping of the pigeon. Dropping of the pigeon is ammonia, alassi to the leather since 25 days. And after, we'll be back again to the well and we wash the skin from the ammonia and we dry this in the room, in the sheet. We take some of them natural and we take some of them we do the dryer colors. The dryer colors originally we do from herb and stone. Moroccan spices. Red is made from paprika. Yellow made from saffron. Brown made from cedarwood. Orange made from henna. Blue made from indigo and pepper flower. Green made from mint flower. And black made from cold kajal of mascara of the eyes. And those colors, they are vegetable color and natural color, and they take 22 days to be made. So.
To make tea on wedding days. Tea on wedding days. But this one here, just to run, I mean, on the, to put some either umbrella.
It's mailbox.
This is really narrow, this trip.
You think?
You want to take a picture?
You want to stop one? Then you ask me to stop. You need to stop now?
Yeah. Stop.
Not flat.
Вылезли из одной медины, перешли в другую. Здесь вообще не размен. Один человек только может пройти сюда.
Oh la la. Oh la la.
Наш послеобеденный тур керамический, шапка мастерская.
Found everywhere in Morocco. It's Greek clay, local clay, found only here in this region of that. We bring it from a cave from now to 15 kilometers from here. The clay before could be used, bubbles and all impurities had to be removed. First, the potters mix the raw clay with the water to make it soft. start to eliminate smooth stones, bits of wood, or any other foreign element. Then comes the second step, called the wetting. Wetting means clay slightly dry, that's when they need it using their face and hands to take air bubbles out. Because if there is any air in the clay, when it's fired by its sand, it will explode. And I know it doesn't mean quite, because most of craftsmen they use the clock. So someone says to show the people the work. Kick wheel, not electric. They use the foot to spin. Better to control the speed of rotation because each item needs a different speed. The clay should be centered in the middle of the wheel head. If the clay is not centered, the putter will never have putter. We're going to several items. Anyone has tried to make pottery? It seems to look easy, but it's not.
I think it looks easy.
So he's making the tagine, the traditional cooking pot. The dish. Now he's going to make the leg. Piece of string is and water. And it fits perfect. No tape measure. So to make pottery, there are two steps. First step is this: is throwing, making the shape. And of course, the potters are able to throw in tagine, fishes, mugs, bowls, vases, tiny pieces, huge pieces. So when they throw them, they let them dry one day. Following day, they bring them again on the wheel and trim them. They take the excess clay to make the rim, to make it perfect. So level, so this is like the reservoir for the colors, and the tiny one, to finish. All freehand, no stencils, nothing. The colors we use natural pigments, so mineral stones and the metallic oxides. For example, cobalt is for blue color. Copper oxide green, manganese red, chrome yellow, antimony black, so all. This purple, this is the cobalt. When it's fired, it turns to blue. With the reaction of the heat, it becomes blue, like this blue here. And the designs, of course, they are inspired from our culture. Here in Morocco, we are multi-cultures, Arabs, Jewish, and the Berbers. Arabs, pattern their geometric pattern or calligraphy. Jewish, the Star of David, and Solomon Star, the Hebrew word. And the Berber pattern flowers. So those are the traditional kilns. These two we are not allowed to use them anymore in this place because in the area no many people live here and the fuel what we use makes so much smoke. So people they start to complain and we stop using them here. We have another factory now outside the city where we still use them. Here we have a little small modern kiln, gas kiln. Those the traditional ones they are made with the clay and straw, some broken pot, and the artisans they built them by themselves. So the oven has two sections. So they put the products here in the upper part like this. They cover the door using clay and straw so as to prevent air not going in. Underneath here they light up the fire. The main fuel, to feed the fire we use this. This is the crotch olive spits. You know, in the big factories when they press olives to get the oil, that's what remains. We use it as fuel. It burns very well, gives good heat, because it has the oil on, and also this is way to recycle because this region fast Meknes is the richest part in Morocco with olives. So you have lots of it. Generally, the portrait speaks twice. There are two farine, the bisque farine and the glaze farine. The bisque is the first one for the clay. So temperature reach 960 Celsius. And the second farine for the colors, it reached 1200 Celsius. And the most important thing, temperature should be calculated very well. Otherwise, we will throw away the whole products. And the question here, how they control the scale, because there is no thermometer or something. So just experience through the colors of the flames, following the quantity of fuel they put and time. Like they control. You know, the whole work of potters, painters are between the hands of these people here. If something happens, nobody gets paid. And it takes 2 days and 3 days to cool down before they open and they get off. No, that's why you are associating. You could go in this, otherwise each one people because this time so got 85% of craftsmen or safety relations. Meaning that they can't help how they were also. Let's go from part of the time. But with the apprentices, this 1 year. And when it's ready, we put powder cement, with white here, to close the joints of the pieces. And then we add a frame, a metal frame, iron frame. Now we plug in the side to it. And then we add special glue or fiberglass. So the whole piece is together and we keep it to dry. So when it's dry, turn it over and then you can see the pattern, the color, everything.
Beautiful. Нас пригласили в какой-то историю.
Then beef with prunes, okay, version of beef with prunes, dessert afterwards, and one drink, water.